Janie here, and about a week ago I made a card with a pop-up feature inside. And today I'm going to make one with 3. So let's get started. So for today's card, I'm going to be using the Inlovearts Blocked Rotating Background cutting dies. And this set is so perfect for using your scraps and can be used for any occasion. And I'm going to be using these papers from freepik.com, and I'll have a link to that website below in my description box because I think it's going to become your new favorite place to get digital papers. And I just happened to have a 12-inch printer, so I was able to print out everything I needed. In fact, I printed out more than I needed because I didn't want to have a lot of leftover white cardstock. And I'm also using black cardstock and yellow shimmer cardstock because I thought black and yellow was perfect for the bee theme. So as you can see, I'm using my Sizzix Big Shot Switch Plus so that I can put all of the papers on and cut everything at once. And everything cut absolutely beautifully, which made me very happy. And I also love the stitched edges on everything. And here I am cutting out the yellow shimmer cardstock, and I'm not showing it, but I also cut out the frame from black cardstock because I'm making 2 cards, but I'm not going to show cutting out the black because you could barely see it against that black mat. And there's a lot of leftover pieces, but they could easily be used to mix and match if you cut out enough to make several cards. And I'm going to be using this adorable bee image. I absolutely love this, and it is actually for the Blessed Crafters Freebie Free-for-All Challenge for September. And I'll have links below in the description box to the Blessed Crafters Facebook group so you can learn more about the challenge. And I printed out so many of them because, you know, if I make a mistake coloring, plus I didn't decide yet if I'm going to fussy cut it out or if I'm going to die cut it with something like an oval or a circle. I have no clue. But I'm going to go color these and I'll figure that out and I'll be back. Okay, I've decided to do some of the coloring on camera and I'm speeding it up and I'm going to put on a little music for you. But if this part bores you, feel free to jump forward a couple of minutes and it won't hurt my feelings. But I would actually love to know in the comments if you like watching someone color or if you prefer not. Okay, so I really did want to do some coloring on camera for you guys because I rarely, pretty much almost never do that. But I did do a little bit on camera for you, and then off camera I finished that one and did this one, and I'm pretty pleased with how they turned out. So now it's time for me to do some fussy cutting or die cutting, and I'm going to do that off camera, and I am also going to be fussy cutting some of these images out, and I'm going to be doing that off camera as well, but I'll be back. In a few minutes you'll see the pieces that I fussy cut, but right now I'm going to be gluing the yellow frame part of that die set to the black cardstock, and you can use something like Zig 2-way glue pen or a fine tip glue bottle or spray adhesive. And then I'll be gluing all of those die cut pieces into that. And what I like to do is lay them in place before gluing them on so that I'm sure that everything is where it needs to be, and then I just pick them up one piece at a time and glue them back down. And as you can see, I decided to fussy cut that bee image because I thought it would look better that way, and because it's going to take up most of that center piece of the card, I'm going to be inlaying the piece of yellow shimmer cardstock that was cut out when the frame was cut out because I thought it would look better than a piece of pattern paper. So while you're all watching me put this part of my card together, I thought this was a good time to let you know how much I appreciate each and every one of you. Even though I always say thank you at the end of my videos, I just thought you deserve a little bit more than that. Some of you have been loyal subscribers and viewers for many years, and some of you are new to my channel. So whether you are new or old or a viewer or a subscriber, I appreciate you all the same. And every view, every comment, and every time you watch the advertisements, you're helping keeping this channel going and showing me your love and appreciation for the videos that I make for you. So if I could reach through YouTube and give you all a big hug, I would. And thanks to all of you. Next month will be my 10-year milestone here on YouTube, and I'm almost to 34,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for making that possible. Okay, now back to my card. As you can see, I have decided to use foam tape to pop up the bee and honeycomb image because I thought it would look awesome with a little dimension. And I decided to do the same thing with the sentiment. That sentiment is part of the September 2024 Challenge prize set that can be won in the Blessed Crafters Freebie Free for All Challenge. And in my second card that I'll show you here in a little bit, that sentiment on that card is also from the prize set. And I don't know if I told you, but that beautiful bee image that I'm using is a challenge freebie for September 2024. And I know it's not September yet, so you're actually getting a sneak peek before anyone else. But like I said, I'll have a link below in the description box to the Blessed Crafters Facebook group where you can learn more about the challenge. And now that the topper for the front of my card is finished, let's move on to the inside. Okay, so now it's time to make the pop-up mechanism for the inside of the card. And I like to use a pattern paper that's not too busy, but solid cardstock works as well. And I did another video showing how to do this, but I'm going to go over it again. So no matter what size card you make, okay, no matter what size, for this direction, you're going to want to make it a 1/2 inch shorter. And for this direction, you want to make it 1/4 inch shorter. So with an A2 size card going this direction, I cut this at 8 inches instead of 8.5. And this direction is 5.5 inches, and I cut this to 5.25 inches. So I hope you understand that, and it doesn't matter what size card you're making, you will do that. You'll just make it a little bit shorter each direction, okay? And then I like to score it from the back side. And so this is at 8 inches, so I'm going to score it at 4 inches. And just get right in there, scoring that. And fold it in half, like so. And that is going to fit on the inside of your card, and it's going to leave a nice little border all the way around. For this next part, okay, it doesn't matter whether you are going to be making 1 pop-up, 2 pop-ups, or 3 pop-ups, okay? And I will put a link on the end of the screen of this video to my other tutorial on just doing 1. So usually I just eyeball it, okay, and make a couple of slits. For each pop-up, you need to make 2 slits that end at the same place, okay? And like I said, you can do 1, 2, 3. Another way, if you want to make sure that everything is straight, like, you know, maybe you're not good at eyeballing things. Not everybody is, okay? Then you can use a ruler. And you can mark off where you want to put your little slits. So I'm going to mark off right here. And I think a 1/2 inch in between each of those is going to be good. I'm going to come up here toward the top, and I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm not going to go as close to the top as that one was. So I'm going to go right there and right there. And I'm just making these each a 1/2 inch. You can make them 3/4 of an inch, 1 inch, whatever you need to fit the elements that you're going to be using. And I actually, with these bees, could have gone farther, but it really, as long as it's not bigger than they are, it's fine. And so I'm also going to do one right here in the middle. Now, you can space these out any way you want. You can make them a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. You can put them in different places. It works, okay? So now I'm going to just move this up a little bit, and I have everything lined up. Of course, I don't remember where my marks are, so hold on. So that one's at 2 and 2.5, and I am going to put a little mark right here and right here. Okay, this next one was right here and right here. And this one up here was right there and right there. Let me see if I'm off on those. What do you know? Okay, well, doesn't matter because no one's going to see it, so just let me do that. On this one, I actually want the cut to go out a little bit further anyway. So, there and there. Okay, so what you can do, use your ruler or whatever, draw a little line if you feel you need to so that you know where to follow things at. And I wanted that one to come out further. And you know what? I think I want this one to come out a little bit further too. So I'm just going to do that. So that gives me an idea of where to cut. Now you notice that I'm not giving you anything exact because there is no exact for this. I'm just showing you the process of creating this. The measurements are going to be on your own. So you just have to decide how far, but that's where you're going to cut. Okay? Just like that. I should have checked to make sure I had it going the right direction. Oh, I do. Oh, good, good, good. Okay, so then I'm cutting back, and my phone is ringing, so I'm going to be right back. But before I go grab my phone, I'm just going to show that I'm cutting to those spaces. Okay, sorry about that interruption, and my phone is now turned off. Okay, so once you have those slits in there, and you can, like I said, make them as long as you want, as wide as you want. It all depends on what you're going to be putting on the other side. All right, so now I'm opening it up, and I am bending all of those little sections the opposite direction. Okay, so fold that back, fold that up, fold that back, fold that up. Kind of like mountain valley. And when you're doing more than one of them, it could be a little bit more challenging getting everything to pop the right direction at the right time. Okay. So while I'm getting this done, I'm also going to point out that you can use a scoreboard while this is folded, or you can do it yourself, but where each of these the ends are right there, you need to fold them or score them so that they lay flat. Okay, and I'm going to fold this back over. That one's already folded in, so I want to fold this back over for a second. fold everything back down and show you that you could do this with a scoreboard. You can use your fingernail. I'm just going between those two lines right there because not everybody has a scoreboard. So I want you to see that your fingernail works just as good, okay? So now I'm going to fold those back in, fold that up, fold that down. This is what it looks like on the other side once you do this, okay? So again, I'm going to fold that in and get it folded right in that space. And the same thing on this side. So basically right where those two dots were, okay, that's where you want to fold it. Put a nice little crease there on all of them. And once you've done that, this is what it's going to look like on the back side, and this is what it's going to look like on the inside, and that's going to be your pop-up mechanism so that whatever you put on here will pop up. Now, the branches are going the wrong direction on this, and they're going to get in the way, so I think I'm going to put that one on this side. And you can put it on either side, but I like putting them on this side, but it doesn't matter. So let me glue my little bees and my little branches and stuff on here. And, you know, I think I can still stick it right there. You just want it so that it doesn't go any further than that fold, so that when you fold it down, it doesn't get squashed, okay? And then when you open it back up, they're right there popping up. Okay, let me grab my glue and let me glue these on there. And a lot of times I like to just put the glue on the pop-up piece because I'm afraid if I put it on whatever the element is that I'm, you know, gluing on there, whatever that piece is, if I have the glue like on the end of the wings and it was in the wrong spot, then it will glue to the rest of this. I know, I'm trying to think and talk all at the same time. Yeah, I think I like you more like that. No, maybe like that. Okay, close enough. I think I like you like that. All right, so now this one, I think I'm going to just put it on the back of the off camera here. Sorry guys, I don't mean to be off camera. It's just the positioning of my camera and that I got the table raised up here so you can be a little bit closer. Okay. So let me put that on there, and I'm going to close this and make sure that everything stays where it's supposed to. And open it back up. And there they all are. They popped up and they're in different positions, which I'm not sure. Well, if I turn it sideways, you can see. Hold on here. You can see that this one sticks out further than the next one, and then that one sticks out, kind of giving it more dimension instead of having everything just straight in a line. And so there we go. That is how we did that. And now I'll show you the next step. Okay. Now it's time to glue that inside the card base. And so I'm just going to put glue around the edges and not really close to those openings at all. Even though I'm going around them, I am not going close to them because I don't want the glue to ooze out in there. Okay. So I'm just putting glue on one side first, making sure that everything is going the right direction. I'm just going to line that up and close that. And then I'm going to open it and make sure that everything is lined up. Okay. All right, now, see what I told you about putting it on the back of the pieces, it can get on here. And where'd my glue eraser go? Hold on one second. There we go. Get my glue eraser and get that out of there. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, going around each of these openings, but staying about 1/4 of an inch away from them. Just to make sure that a bunch of glue does not ooze out onto the other side. Close my card. And make sure that everything is glued in place. And when you open it up, those pop up. Is that too cute or what? Okay. Now that I've got that done, I'm going to glue the front on here. Okay, well, I glued the top on my card and lost that piece of footage, but here is my finished card, and I just love the way it turned out. I love this image, and I really love this this die cut card front. I just think there are so many possibilities with that. And of course, there is the pop-up feature on the inside with 3 pop-ups. And for over here, whether you wanted to stamp directly on that, or let me stick this on there really quick. You can, whoops, you can put a piece of cardstock with your sentiment on it right in there. I just haven't done that yet because I'm not sure yet who's getting this card or why. But I just wanted you to see that it is possible to put a piece of cardstock in there for a sentiment. And I also wanted you to know that even though this card goes this direction, it could have also gone this direction, in which case you would put your little images on these front pieces instead of up here on those pieces. I mean, I guess you could do it both ways. It's totally up to you, but normally that's where it would go. And so that would be like, hold on one second here, that would be like this card, and it opens up like that, and so there is the image right there. So those are just a couple of the possibilities, and I love this so much that I made another one. Now this one doesn't have any pop-up features inside of it, but it is using the same cutting die and the same papers, and it actually doesn't use that much paper, which surprised me, but I loved it because you can use scraps, and I didn't use scraps. But hold on a second, I wanted you to see that I did not use all of those papers. I have these 2 that I didn't use, which means for both of those cards, I used these 2, and they're 4 inches by 4 inches. And so little scraps would work perfectly for this. And I used these 2 pieces, and I actually would have been able to do even more had I not cut out this piece that I ended up not using. Because for this one, I cut out the sentiment, and this one I covered up with that image. So in reality, it does not take much. Definitely a great project for scraps, but so many possibilities, and I just love how these came out. I am so beyond happy with how both of these cards turned out, and I hope that you like them too. And I hope that my tutorial on how to make a card with 3 pop-ups on the inside was easy to follow. But if you need a little bit more help, I have my other video that will be linked right here on the screen in a minute, and you might find it helpful. And I know I already thanked you earlier in the video, but I just want to thank you all again so much for stopping by and supporting my channel. And don't forget, there are links below in the description box to Inlovearts, including a 25% off discount code, and also a link to the die set that I used, and a link to the Blessed Crafters Facebook group. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.